So what's happening, guys? We're here and we're doing this thing. And if you caught my last video, you heard me say in the very beginning that if you want to see the most disgusting, the most costly, the most egregious RNG in Marvel Future Fight history, then you gotta watch my next video, which, guess what? It's this video right here. And at least to my knowledge, I've never heard of or seen anything like what I will reveal in this video here. Yes, it's bad. It's terrible. And I have some options, some fixes, some changes that could be made, some suggestions to the system that could certainly relieve some of the pain, because I'll tell you what, it's stuff like this that will cause players just to have a bad taste in their mouth, probably cause players to just stop playing the game. And don't get it twisted, guys. I'm not making this video to piss and moan or for someone to take pity on me. I'm making this video to shed light in an area in the game that needs to be fixed. It needs to be changed. Some modifications need to be made. Some altercations. It needs to be taken to the tailor. The pant leg needs to be hemmed up a bit, because right now it's sagging and bagging all over the place, and it just doesn't look right. It looks messy. And what I'm talking about is the whole Brilliant system. I know we're back here, right? I did a video on this a while back, and we're revisiting this, because before the video was mainly based on the way you actually obtain a Brilliant, right? And in this video, I'm going to show you, because I rolled a Brilliant, and I want you to guess. Think of a number. How many times I rolled this Brilliant and ended up with this. Now the type looks right, but the proc, it's the lowest proc. It is the lowest proc, and that's not what you want. And after how many CTPs went into this thing, you're gonna think to yourself, that's bananas. That is absolutely crazy and disgusting. Because after, you're gonna find out the number after I play the video. The video of me rolling it is like 9 minutes long. I'm gonna fast forward through it, and you'll be able to see every time it's a roll, because you got the nice shiny light of the Brilliant. And listen, don't get me wrong, I knew what I was getting myself into, right? Anybody who goes for this, they know what's going on. And there was a point after so many rolls where I got something that was okay. As a matter of fact, throughout this, I never got a max proc, not one time. But I did end up with something that was like okay. And I just thought to myself, like, it's just, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, because at a certain point, you should be able to get the max proc on these things, just because of how expensive they are to get in the first place. And you want to be able to use it at its full potential, right? And to get one of these things and to think that there's a chance that you would never be able to use it at its full potential. Like, you could just get shafted over and over and over again and wind up with something that's even close to a mighty, right? Like, you can get 200 proc with 50% on the type, and that's basically a mighty. Alrighty, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play this clip, and then after I'm done playing it, I'm gonna give some specific suggestions, some specific things that could be put in place in this game to make the whole process, the whole system, way better. Put some players' minds at ease. Put some light at the end of the tunnel there, because right now it's messy. It's messy, and it needs adjustments. It needs the altercations, like I said. Things need to be hemmed up. Things need to be stitched up, so on and so forth. So let's get to it. Alrighty, guys, here we go. Okay, don't blink now. Don't blink, and you count how many times that light shines up, because I'm gonna fast forward through this, because it's an 8-minute and 46 clip. And yes, I'm using rages to roll this thing. I have a lot of them. So let's go ahead. Here, I'll let it play the first one you can see. So boom, there's one. Let's go. Let's move forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here we go. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Yep, I shut the game down because I was just having terrible luck. After 27, and I wasn't even counting. I'm just going at it. 28 this is, and so we're at 28. And this is the thing, like I was gonna stop at a certain point. I got something that was decent. It was 70 on the type and then 220 on the proc, and that was okay. But I was looking for the max proc, and I thought, okay, if I have, I don't know, 30, 40 CTPs, is that enough to get the max proc? I didn't even want the max type. I just wanted the max proc on it with type at all, period. And so let's get in. And I basically did it to make a video like this because I was wondering how many CTPs is this going to take to actually get the type and then the max proc, right? That's what you want. You spent so much to get one of these things, you should be able to get a roll on it without, spending. Let's see how many CTPs. Let's see. So we're at 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40 CTPs, guys. 40 freaking CTPs. That's insane. All right, so you saw it. 40 CTPs, 40 CTPs, and I end up with this. Now not one max proc. I think I might have gotten, I can go back and check, but I think I might have gotten the 220 maybe 5 times, but that was the highest one that I got, and I'm pretty sure you can get 230 on this, maybe. I'm actually not even positive on that, but I think you can. I think you can get 230 on it, but I got 220 maybe 5 times. And I was looking for the max proc. Out of 40 CTPs, is that too much to ask? You know what? If I ended up with, say, the max roll on this thing after 40, yeah, I'd feel a little bit better, but, still be salty about it. And the thing is this. I'm mostly doing this for, not necessarily for me, but just for the game itself. The game in general, because, like I said, it's going to rub players the wrong way if they go through an experience like this. Especially because I have to imagine that most players, that probably 90% of players, don't have the amount of CTPs that I have if they end up getting one of these things. And here's the thing. So I'm going to give some suggestions on what to do to fix this, just to help those who come after me on this. So, all right. So first and foremost, so I thought about this. Now, because there was a roll that I got previously that was okay, and I could have lived with. So maybe what they can do is, and they could do this with mighty CTPs as well, because trying to roll one of these mighty judgments specifically is just, they're impossible. They're absolutely impossible. And you'll endlessly roll these things in, to just no end. And it's like, okay, you get one, and how long is it going to be before you can actually use it or use it and feel good about it? You know what I mean? So what I was thinking, especially for Brilliance though, is you can do like a save roll. Like you can save a certain roll on it. Like you get a roll and you could save it up to one time. You could save the like up to the last one. Like say, this was a decent roll that I didn't want to lose, but I think I could do a little bit better, and I have 5 CTPs to spend, right, to actually roll this thing. So I could lock this stat, and after those 5 CTPs I use, if what I end up with isn't better than it, then I can go back to that previous stat. And you could always have like a backup stat that you can swap. So just have like how this button is right there, right? You can have like a swap button where you can have almost like a double roll on it, and you could swap between one and the other. And that could even work in terms of like if you want to test out like the type versus the all attack on a certain character, right? and that goes for mighties, and even, you know, even energies as well. Like if you want to test the beatdown and you want to test the all attack, so have a swap button. Have a swap button that saves one roll. So that's one solution. Another solution is, and I'm not the first person to come up with this, but be able to lock a stat, just like you can with crafted cards. Be able to lock a certain stat, even multiple stats on it. So say, like, you know, you're rolling a mighty, you're rolling, or even just regular CTPs, right? Especially judgments, but more specifically forged CTPs, where you can maybe lock the type. You could spend even, I don't know, 50 crystals, and you could lock a certain stat on it. You could lock the chain hit, like you get high chain hit on it, and you want to keep that, but you have low all attack, and you have just, you know, on the actual forge stat, it's just like 12% all attack, and that's garbage, like on a mighty. So you could lock the chain hit, and you can continue rolling it, or lock any stat on it. Maybe even if it's just one stat that we can lock, that would be excellent. It would be even better if you could lock multiple. Say 50 crystals for the first stat, and then, I don't know, 100 crystals for the next stat, or 25 and then 50, something to that effect. But be able to lock a stat on it would be absolutely fantastic. That would be a vast improvement and put a lot of players' minds at ease when actually rolling this thing. All right, next, now just talking about just actually obtaining one of these things, because I've seen and I've spoken to and I've heard of players using, and this is on the ×3 super success chance up, using 50 plus CTPs and not even ending up with one. So what needs to happen is a pity system. Some sort of pity system needs to be in place. There's many different ways you could do this. Some people suggested using like a few mighties to actually make a brilliant. I don't know, maybe you need 3 mighties. Like I need 3 mighty judgments to make 1 brilliant judgment. Now that's how many CTPs? 2, 4, 6 at the very least, right? 2, 4, 6 of the same CTP to make 1. And you know, you never know. You actually could have went for super success on those three mighties, and not, you know, so that would be an additional 15 CTPs on that. You see what I'm saying? Or do it where on the 4th or even 5th or 5th time you've actually forged a CTP. The next one, right? All super success, all with the max amount of CTPs you can put in. So you know, you're using 7 CTPs every time. Doing it where it's like every 4, like on the 5th time. So you've done 4 and you haven't gotten one. On the 5th time, you're guaranteed. It's a guaranteed super success. No matter what, you're guaranteed a brilliant. I don't think that's being too generous, right? How many CTPs is that? That's 35 CTPs to make 1. 35 to make 1. Or another option that's been thrown around out there is, so you know how when you go to a character and you're ranking them up from 60 to 70. So let me get down here. Let me find somebody who's not 70 yet. Okay, how about Phyla-Vell? So when you enhance her potential, right? You know how you can go up to like 20%, right? You can go up to 30%. You can go up to 50, or you could just do max. You can go to 100%. And my suggestion was you use 10 CTPs. So you're using double the amount. Use 10 CTPs. Every CTP is 10%, right? If you just change the whole system, do every CTP, 1 CTP equals 10%, and you're guaranteed. I don't think that's being too generous, and I don't think that's breaking the game at all. 10 CT, well, it's actually 12 CTPs, right? Because you need the 2 that you're forging. You need the one that you're actually gonna make the brilliant. You need the other one of its kind, and then after that, each CTP you use counts for 10%. So there's basically my rant. And I know that, you know, a lot of people are gonna say, you know, that this system, it's only for the whales, blah blah blah. Well, it's really not. You know, it's for everybody. I've heard free to plays getting brilliance because they got lucky, right? And you know, it's even worse for them because they probably don't have a lot of CTPs to roll it, and whatever it came with, that's basically what they have to deal with. So you know, I'm sure there's other ways, there's other fixes to this, right? Maybe just have it come with one roll. Maybe a Brilliant is just, you have the max, I don't know, you have the max proc on it, but the forge stat can actually change. They could do something like that for sure, just because of how expensive it actually is. And I could already hear people in the comments spouting just some negative stuff. And listen, if you got something negative to say, just, nobody wants to hear it. Don't even leave the comment. All right, you could take it somewhere else. But for those who have something positive to add to this conversation, if you have a suggestion on how this system can actually be improved, right, outside of what I suggested, if you have something else, some other idea that you think could make a quality improvement to this system, please leave it in the comments. I mean, also something I didn't mention: remove the CTP cost to actually roll a Brilliant, right? It's costly enough. It's costly enough. So make it, I don't know, 5 obelisks, 5 6-star obelisks to actually do one roll as opposed to just one. You could do something like that. There's many different routes we could take with this to actually make an improvement on it. But I typically don't record, like, you know, me rolling. I've rolled Brilliants plenty of times. I'll tell you what, I've never got shafted that bad. That is by far the worst shaft that I've gotten actually rolling these things. And I typically don't record it, but I'm glad I did this time because it was just the worst. It was the worst. I mean, think about what that actually costs. Think about what 40 CTPs actually cost, and what you wind up with. What you wind up with is this, and you're left with some nuts in your hand. That's it. Some chestnuts or some pistachios. I got pistachios in my hand. That's it. So that's it, guys. That's it. I'm gonna end it there. I felt like I had to share that with you guys, and I know I'm not the only one who has had bad luck. Like I said, I've heard somebody spending 50 CTPs and not even ending up with one. Okay, let alone even rolling it, not even ending up with one. So there's other players out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if some players have stopped playing the game just because of the bad RNG and also rolling the mighties. Now I know you don't spend CTPs to actually roll mighties, but like I said, you roll these things endlessly. You get one, right? It's at least 2 CTPs. You get one, and say you get it. I don't know. This actually isn't the worst roll. It's got the lowest type, but you want to be able to use it at its best, right? And if you're spending, I don't know, you could roll 100. I've rolled 100 6-star obelisks and ended up with nothing good. Like, how is that possible? How is that even possible to do that in this game? How long does it take you to farm that? It could be a week. It could be a whole week to farm, and you're just rolling this CTP to no end. Like, you need to put a pity. You need to put a lock system. You'd be able to lock a stat, even if it costs crystals, whatever. Put a small amount, 5 crystals, 10 crystals. I don't know, for a mighty, and then you can increase it for a Brilliant, because you know most of the people who have Brilliants probably have additional crystals to spend. So, but something needs to be done. It really does. It's gone on too far, guys. So I'm gonna end it there. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.